that was this dummy, and this dummy going to show you how to do perfect lighting for your video and portrait sessions. Well, stick around and I'll show you how. Hi, I'm Josh from FB Imaging and FBimaging.com. Today, I'm going to talk to you about lighting and how you can do it on just about any budget. And why is it so important? Well, first off, it's so that you can see the subject, which is you. And second, it just gives a much more polished, professional look to all of your photos and videos. So right now, I'm using one light in my setup. I have a newer 660 off to my left at a 45-degree angle and above me. And then I'm actually using natural light from the window off to my rear right at about 45 degrees. That is filling in the shadows on this side of my face and also separating me from the background by creating what would be known as a rim or a hair light. So this can be done on a very minimal budget. And I'm in a very confined space, yet I'm still able to do that. And I can control the temperature of the lighting as well. So this is roughly 3,500 Kelvin, which gives a much warmer tone than, say, bright sunlight, which would be closer to 5,600 Kelvin. If you don't have access to constant LED lights like this, I could just shoot closer to that window. I could set it up that I would have the window on one side of me and the camera directly ahead of me, and it would pretty much light me and I might get some wraparound light. Or if you wanted to, you could add a reflector, either white or silver, depending on how much you wanted to have. You could have natural light from a window here, which costs you nothing, and a very simple reflector on your right-hand side, which would fill in the shadows and cast some rim light behind you, separating you from your background. If you don't even have access to this, you could use a white piece of cardboard and that will reflect some light back to you. It's not going to be as ideal, but as you're starting and you're continuing your journey, you will be able to afford more. But in the beginning, if you need to do this on your phone, if you need to use natural light from a window, or outside if you can find some shade so that the light is diffused. That is another thing. Light that is diffused is going to be significantly softer and it won't cast such hard shadows on your face. It's going to give you a much more flattering look. Now, if you are inside and you don't have access to ideal lighting through a natural light source, let's say you're at a window and the light is very harsh and you want to make it a lot softer. What you can do is just grab a simple piece of like a white sheet, anything like that, that will have a layer of diffusion between the light and you, and it will create a more even, more soft, more flattering look in how the light hits you. All of these things are very simple and anybody can do them. Now, as I showed you before, how do I get the idea of what it's going to look like in camera when I'm by myself? Well, as I showed you earlier, I got a very cheap dummy head. Oftentimes, cosmetologists use this when they're learning how to cut hair or do makeup. And I set this on a cheap light stand. You can rig it any way you like. If you don't have money for a light stand, you can set it on a chair or anything where you can frame up a shot. And you can get an idea of the lighting and the framing at the same time. It's simple, it's easy, and it's very effective. These are all things that you can do very simply and on a budget. If you have more of a budget, some of my videos, I like to add colored lights behind me to add a different dynamic, and colored lights in my rim light and separating me from the background. This adds a more polished look, but is not strictly necessary. Right now, I'm in the daytime. I don't really need that. So generally, at night, when I have more control over the ambient light in a room, then I will do that. So if you want to get more in depth in this, let me know. Hit like, comment in the comment sections. I'll leave links to a lot of the products that are inexpensive that you can use to up your lighting game. Thanks. Again, this is Josh from FB Imaging and FBimaging.com. Have a great day.